So for example 2, we are asked for the vertex, the coordinates of the vertex. So again, that's looking for P and Q if we were talking in vertex form. We're given it the equation in general form, so I'm going to convert this. Now you may have already spotted that this is actually the same equation as from example 1, so you can cheat and go back there, or you can practice and trying it on your own. So if you want to pause the video, give it a shot. You already have access to the answer, or you can go back and review that video. I'm going to just jump to the answer though, because it's a little bit quicker, and I've already done the work, and I don't need practice. So if I look at my varied version, and please note, I am not lying, it is actually the same equation. Okay, P is positive 2, Q is negative 5, and so that is going to be my vertex. So I don't actually even need to do any new work here because I've already seen the equation. It's y equals 3, x minus 2 squared minus 5, so vertex is at 2 and negative 5. Example 3 is very, very similar. It's asking for the axis of symmetry. Well, we know that we can find out the axis of symmetry by determining the x-coordinate of the vertex. Okay, so we're going to start this out, and we don't actually even need to do the whole rigmarole. All we need to do is figure out that half B piece, if you've spotted that. But you can do the full thing for practice. If you want to practice doing the work, now is a good time to pause the video. So I'm not going to do the whole thing. I'm just going to do part of it. So this is my first step in my setup. I want to figure out just the x coordinate, just the p value. So just the piece that will end up being my factor. Well, we do that by going half of b. So in this case, 5 halves divided by 2, which is actually negative 5/4. And so that is going to be my answer. Okay, because what happens in the rest of the question is we go, okay, well that squared is going to be plus 25 over 16 times 2, so I'm going to and it's negative, so I'm going to add 25/8, and then I would have to carry on from there. Okay, but what I really cared about was just that x piece, and we get that just by taking half of our b value once we've factored out that coefficient of x squared. Example 4 is asking for the other part of it. It's asking for just my y coordinate, so just my q. So in this case, I will have to go through all the steps. So I've got y equals 1/2 x squared minus 6x minus 8. So again, when we factor this out, how I figure out the number, the coefficient when I'm factoring out fractions, is I kind of think backwards, and I'm like, half multiplied by what would get me 3? Or what is 3 a half of? The answer is 3 is half of 6, so that's how I know that's my coefficient. Okay, so just a different way of thinking about it maybe. I'm going to go negative 6 divided by 2 squared to fill in this value. So it's 3 squared is positive 9. But I'm only actually adding half of that because of my coefficient. And so I'm going to subtract 9 halves. Now, I like to do this kind of as scratch work on the side. So I need to convert this into a common denominator. So it's going to be negative 8. It turns into negative 16 over 2. I've already got negative 9, so that's going to turn into negative 25 over 2. So my final answer, if I was just completing the equation in vertex form, would be x minus 3 squared minus 25 over 2. But that's not what the question was asking. It was just asking for my y-coordinate. So that's this value right here. So I can say that y would equal negative 25 over 2. There we have it. So that's completing the square in a nutshell. That plus the exposure that you had in class with the algebra tiles should help you kind of wrap your head around this idea. And if not, you're always welcome to ask questions as you're working through your homework.